The Energiesprong model is a real shift in how retrofit is approached. So it requires a much higher performance, so it's going to net zero, and that means a much greater level of energy efficiency than many of the single measure projects that are out there at the moment. It also includes energy generation and in some cases energy storage. The aim is that the house can generate as much as the occupants need, as much energy as the occupants need for a whole year. As well as that, it brings in guaranteed actual performance. So that high performance has to be guaranteed by the new role that's been developed, the solution provider. And the solution provider designs, delivers, and then guarantees that performance for a long term, meaning they have to monitor the actual performance of the home once the work is completed. And then in addition to that, there is a drive for off-site manufacture, which is realised by asking the solution providers to deliver the work to the home in less than 10 days. And that's to minimise disruption, and it also incentivises and drives off-site manufacture in factories, which improves the quality, helping them to enable to meet that performance guarantee in the first place. And that then enables a business case to be levied. So the business case is based on part of the tenant savings being paid to the housing provider, and under a method we call the comfort plan. So the resident saves some money, or they pay the same as they did before, but they're warm and comfortable for that. And the landlord then has an additional income that they can use to fund the retrofit work. And that's on top of the money that the landlord would have spent on that home anyway over a 30-year period on investing in the walls, or investing in a new roof or new windows. And they put that money together in such a way with the comfort plan from the resident that it enables a better standard of retrofit to get to 2050 net zero carbon or net zero homes within a shorter time frame. The Mayor of London's Retrofit Accelerator Innovation Partnership was set up in order to tackle some of the challenges that we'd seen in delivering the early Energiesprong projects in the UK. And what we saw before the Innovation Partnership was set up is that every project was a bespoke project and everyone went through a procurement. And that learning is lost after the project finishes. It's not shared widely. It's not necessarily incorporated into the next projects unless you get exactly the same team. So we thought about how can we address this, and the idea of an innovation partnership where it's really focusing on collaboration between the different organisations within the partnership. It includes a collaboration hub where housing providers that are buying the solutions and solution providers that are creating the solutions come together and talk about how to do that in the most effective way and the most cost-effective way for the long term. So the other thing that's really important about the innovation partnership is the length of time which it runs for and the opportunity which it creates. So the landlords and the solution providers work through various different phases. So they prototype, they pilot, and then they do a scale-up phase to evidence that these solutions can be delivered at scale. Subject to those working, they then get onto a framework which has got the opportunity for any social housing organisation in the UK. So any social housing organisation in the UK can purchase from this framework net zero retrofit solutions, which is about making it easy for landlords to do that and taking away some of those procurement barriers that they see at the moment. Having tried and tested products that have been verified to really work on site, and an approach and a team of solution providers that know exactly how to do this. They are implementing the Energiesprong model, and that's got quite a lot of differences to the status quo. So the performance guarantee, the comfort plan, the off-site manufacture, that's a lot to think about already. And because that's such a new thing for them all, they're all learning, and they are sharing that learning in a way that I have never seen before in reality. And I think there was a realisation about a short way into the innovation partnership that actually we've got 2 homes per minute to retrofit in the UK to achieve our 2050 targets. There's enough of a market to go at, and actually the innovation partnership will only succeed if we end up with all of the solution providers working together collaboratively and coming out of the partnership with solutions that can then be purchased through the framework. So that realisation has led to some really different behaviours. We've had people phoning up each other to share supply contact details for their supply chain. We have people starting to think about the demand for manufactured products and manufactured facades, for example, trying to smooth that demand so that it can actually become more efficient for the manufacturer and therefore more cost effective for everybody to buy those solutions. My advice for organisations getting involved in net zero retrofit is that you need to think about the long term. You need to recognise that this is a market that exists. It is a market that's going to remain. We have had some challenges with short-term funding policies and lots of stopping and starting, but we've seen recently a bit more of a shift to recognise that this is necessary. 2 homes per minute, that's the market opportunity, it's enormous. So I would say start now, start to get people trained up, think about the long term, invest in the solutions that are going to enable the retrofitting at scale and at pace. 2 homes per minute, that's the challenge that we're throwing out there. My call to action for the industry is that we need lots of people to come into this industry. We need to make it appealing for different types of people to come into the industry. We need more women, we need people of different ethnicity. We need to really enable the roles that will create opportunities for people that haven't always seen themselves working in the construction industry. So manufacturing, digitalisation, off-site construction, these are much more exciting things to bring young people in. We really need to capitalise on all of that energy and that enthusiasm and the people that really want to solve our climate crisis, because they're going to be our champions of the future.